It's strange but true. The last time Singapore played their neighbours Malaysia was back in 2008. So, who are the favourites in this two-legged World Cup qualifier? Well, according to the Chinese Taipei coach, who played both sides in the last 7 days, Singapore are, quote, more organised and more mature.
I didn't know there was a favourite. I don't think that matters. We'll approach the game in the same way. It makes no difference. They're Suzuki Cup winners, so I don't know how we're the favourites.
The 33-year-old Daniel Bennett has played 97 games over a decade for Singapore, and he reckons with the blend of old in Alexander Djuric and Chiu Li,
hello,
and young talent like Haris Harun and Shadan Suleiman, this could be the best Singapore side he's played for.
This time we've got the majority of the boys fit, and no, I think if we ever stood a chance to qualify, it's now, because we've got no excuses now.
The only real fitness issue is goalkeeper Lionel Lewis. Coach Radi Avramovic says he's 50-50 for Saturday. He'll be working hard to make it for a game which means so much to these players. Do you ever dream of playing in a World Cup when you were a kid?
I think everybody did. Probably mine was dreaming with England, but it turns out I play for Singapore and I love it. Very proud to represent Singapore, and hopefully one day, if it's not this time, then in the future Singapore will make it to the World Cup.
One thing that Daniel told me Singapore do have an advantage in is this artificial surface. If it's wet, it is really skiddy, and if it's dry, the ball just stops, which makes the passing game very difficult. If you're not used to it, then there could be a problem. Singapore's grand old man and the target man. At 40 years of age, Alexander Djuric has seen just about everything, apart from a World Cup qualifier against arch rivals Malaysia.
I think it's definitely one of the biggest games I played, I think, for Singapore. We're expecting really hard game because the rivalry is there, coming from long time in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And I know the Singapore people is always happy if we beat them.
The Malaysians will stay very close to the big man on Saturday. He's coming off a 2-goal performance this week against Chinese Taipei. His teammates are in awe of the man.
He continues to defy age. He takes care of his body. He's the perfect example of a professional player.
Yeah, of course we need Alex Djuric because he's a goal scoring machine, man.
Djuric was the focus of a long ball game that has only recently been replaced by a more fluent pass and move approach. The 20-year-old Haris Harun will be at the centre of that.
You've got to throw the form book out the window for this game. It's what happens on the field on Saturday and next Thursday. That's important. So the better team, the one who wants it more, will win.
The pundits say that Singapore are the favourites, but the reality is that they had a very poor 2010, while Malaysia brought home the ASEAN Suzuki Cup. Coach Radi Avramovic did not want to appear on camera, but he did tell me one thing. This game should be just about football and not all the other things that happen off the pitch. Of course, Malaysia-Singapore, such a massive game. The Singapore camp will be here in this lovely hotel in Singapore for a week. Then it's a day off, they can go home. Then it's another week in Malaysia for the second leg. So this is all very intense. Christy Simpson in Singapore for Sports Centre.